Today's Wednesday, August 9th, 2017, and you know what time it is.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to go get my coffee cup. Went running out of the room for those of you watching the show on YouTube. And cannot start the show without the coffee, even though I didn't get a chance to drink too much of it. But yeah, it is great to be here this Wednesday morning, as I am every Wednesday morning. Last week we had no show, and last week was my vacation. Had a great time with family. As always, it goes too fast, and spent the week up in Wisconsin after a week of working, and did some work around the house, but swam in the lake, did some fishing, cut some wood, all sorts of good stuff. But it's good to be back, but a little sad at the same time, because as we entered into August, it's literally, it's getting closer to school starting, and based on the traffic that I've seen coming into work, it seems like a lot of people are taking off these last weeks just to kind of get that in before school starts, which is totally understandable. And if you're one of those people, enjoy it as best that you can. So, yeah, it's good. It's had some beautiful weather, just all good stuff. And so make sure that you put your vacation time down if you haven't already, because school's going to be starting pretty soon. Anyway, we've got a shorter show today, and that was another indication that the world might be taking some time off, and which is kind of nice as well. So we should have you out of here in a pretty short time frame. So up next, we'll get into the news of the week, and as always, leave your comments over on the Facebook page if you so choose, or send them to me at tom.seibert@cjanderson.com. Better email to do so than the Gmail account that I've got. I get so many, and so it's kind of nice to tune or push people or have people contact me during my, to my work email, which also is overwhelming. But so send me comments if you'd like to, anytime, any day of the week, and I'll respond as quickly as I possibly can. If I don't, please don't take offense at that whatsoever. Just there's a good chance that I didn't see your email, and Facebook's going to do that. So anyway, this is show number 475, and got a good show for you today. Some good articles that you should be sharing as well. So news is up next.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, I'm sure many of you already know or have heard about the deadly accident that occurred at the Ohio State Fair. And, if you are like me and have kids, you probably have been to some of these local, not carnivals. That could be a carnival. Sorry about that. Anyway, so you'll probably experience that same thing. Anyway, yeah, fatalities on amusement devices falls, the inspection of them falls under, in most states, falls under the elevator division. But if you've ever seen these carnival events go up, amusement events, they go up like within 4 or 5 hours, and they get taken down at the same timeline. What I always wondered about for those that inspect these devices is, I'm sure there are checklists. I'm sure there's things that you need to kind of stay on top of. There's safety measures to be taken according to whatever code is out there. But it's got to be pretty difficult to do this. It's hard enough to inspect elevators under the various different codes. But when you're talking about, rides that you may not be familiar with, if you click on the article link and read it, it'll share with you that the manufacturer of the ride has already come out and said that corrosion is most likely the failure of this. And speaking from experience, when my kids were little, we have a event called Fall Days or Summer Days, and I witnessed this firsthand. I was actually at the event. They had a small little Ferris wheel, and it was probably no higher than 15, 20 feet high, and it was for little children, and it was all caged in. So literally, you had chicken wire or whatever that mesh is that keeps hands and fingers and everything out of the way. And something happened where, as it went around, something got jammed in it, and literally, it didn't allow the car or the little pod with the 4 kids in it, or 2 kids, I forgot how many were in it, to pivot. So as the ride turned around, this pod that these kids were in literally just stayed upside down. It was terrifying. And the helplessness feeling of the parents and everybody who was around at the time, this is probably 10 years ago, was terrifying. So I try to avoid, any amusement event and rides and all that, because you just, you wonder, you just wonder about any of those rides. And, you start to look at the people that put them together, and I'm sure they're very good at what they do, but you just wonder how much training is there. And I'm sure they're trained. I'm not getting, I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to point fingers or go that route, but they do it so quickly, and it's just it's awful. And I think you're going to see a step up in inspections and events like this. And unfortunately, that's what happens when a tragedy like this happens. So just be careful, be understand, or not understanding, but just understand that we all take for granted the equipment we ride in, and anything is safe, and it's just you gotta be due diligent in the world around you, and that's a good lesson to teach your kids or teach anybody. Okay, next news article, Cranes New York has an article. It's actually an editorial, simple ways to make building sites safer. The council ignores them all. And this is an article or an editorial written by, who wrote it? Oh, the editors, I guess. I don't know who those are, but it's some very good points in here, and it's I don't know. I mean, there seemed to be an increase in job site injuries. There's one in here that do definitely talk about where construction lift had fallen. So, will things in New York change? I really truly hope so. I'm not sure why there's such a holdup of it, or what truly is the issue with ensuring that elevator mechanics are licensed and there's safety training, all that. I don't know. I don't know why there would be anything, any delay or any resistance on that. And this is kind of what it talks about: the 5 injured in construction elevator falls in CBD. And that was the South Market District in New York. Oh, sorry, in New Orleans. This is not New York. I apologize. Happened in where Elizabeth Belcher, spokeswoman for New Orleans EMS, said paramedics were called at 3 p.m. So anyway, but there were articles in the prior 2 shows that did talk about accidents in New York. So I'm sorry, that's not these 2 articles are not related, but still a scary accident that you really don't want to read about in the paper or in the website. Next news article, and this is the follow-up on it. New Orleans construction workers who were next door to the standard construction site Friday and Monday recalled the moment they heard.
In a world
I hate
filled with technology,
Sorry about this.
Spectrum delivers with superior HD picture and sound and the fastest internet starting speeds for the price. Plus, Spectrum Voice lets you talk all you want with unlimited nationwide calling. Spectrum TV, internet, and voice. $29.99 per month each.
I'm so sorry.
An elevator fell 7 floors, injuring 5 workers in the CBD. Crews are busy working to complete the standard luxury apartments. The question now, though, is are the operations safe? Good evening. I'm Karen Swenson.
And I'm Tan Trung. Natalie is off tonight. Federal safety regulators are investigating the accident as the work resumes near the intersection of South Rampart and Julia Streets.
Jacqueline Quinn has been at the site all day and joins us live with an update. Jacqueline?
Yeah, this is one of the biggest construction sites in the city. We wanted to give you this perspective to show you how big it is. Now, it was last Friday when 11 people went into an elevator, and that elevator fell. It just plummeted. Now, those people weren't seriously injured.
I'm so sorry. I hate websites that do that. But anyway, yeah, construction lifts are required to meet codes, obviously, when they get put up and are inspected and whatnot, but still kind of scary. So, again, outdoor installations, you've got lots of issues that could pose potential issues on equipment. But OSHA will get to the bottom of it. I'm sure somebody probably will be fined, perhaps, but could be just equipment malfunction, whatever. Okay, next news article. I know we've talked about this in the past, the space elevator. Roccat Game Studio unveiled the first virtual reality tidal elevator to the moon, and this is I don't know if you scroll down and play the trailer of it. It's kind of interesting. Again, I'm not a big virtual reality fan. I think people that are excited about virtual reality, and I'm not talking about our industry. I'm talking about kids and just gamers. Just have no sense of reality. I don't think in how the world works. Go out in the real world. That's real reality. How about that? But anyway, they've got a voiceover of what sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger as the president, and he's trying to get you to fix the moon elevator so they can get up. And again, I don't know. I just don't get it. The day we're all walking around with these things over our eyeballs is the day I hope we never see. But still, kind of interesting. It's an interesting take on using virtual reality for something other than just going to your office or pretending you're in office and picking up a stapler. So I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'm just getting too old. Okay, next news article, inmate to blame, or a company argues inmate to blame for elevator deaths at jail. And I'll let everybody read this on their own, but the reality is obviously and this is not obviously, I guess I should say, the inmate, and I can't read it, I'm not going to do the survey. The elevator company stated that the inmate is to blame because he got into an altercation that literally pushed with the guard, and they both went down the elevator door. And the reality is that, yes, he is to blame, but if the devices and retainers and whatnot were not in place, which they may or may not have been, I don't know. It may or may not have happened, should have happened. Again, I'm not going to speculate on that. But yeah, I mean, obviously the inmate caused the incident that led to the fatality, which is awful. But still, it's like, take a little responsibility for your actions, family. Next news article, 2017 Wisconsin Elevator Symposium. If you haven't checked that out, it's a great event. I was there a few years ago. I missed last year, but I'll be there this year. That's September 28th through the 29th, and a great opportunity to basically meet those from the Midwest market who are there to get educational credits. A great venue, lots of fun, great presentations. If you want to sponsor, if you want to exhibit, you want to attend, link is in the show notes, or go to naesa.org. But yeah, it's kind of a neat, unique event that NAESA is running. So looking forward to that. Woman injured after falling down escalator. Yes, not necessarily a good situation. And this is in Singapore, coming from Straits Times. And she noted that the escalator suddenly stopped, which caused her to fall, unfortunately. Oh, man. Love the pop-ups. Just love them. Okay, press release. RegisterNews.com, Mount Vernon. Schloss joins Phoenix Modular Elevator, and Phoenix Modular Elevator has announced that Kelly Schloss as an inside sales manager. In the position, she will be he or she. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure it's a girl, but Kelly will be responsible or the primary contact and account manager for architects, general contractors, and buildings seeking modular solutions to their elevator needs. Pretty cool. Neat to see that company doing some cool stuff. Okay. Next news article: China, a boy has toes crushed in an escalator. A couple of sad stories coming from China regarding this. And apparently, a boy seems to have rested his foot in the gap. You can look, you can see improper escalator usage here, and kid's just dragging his foot on the side, and now he can't get it out. Okay, well, perhaps that's a good thing to learn from. I don't know, how do you make the side so slippery that some kid's not dragging their foot, but that's exactly the kind of behavior that shouldn't be happening. Next news article: why shouldn't you take the suitcase up an escalator? There's a video. I didn't watch it. Honestly, I kind of hate watching. Oh, here we go. We'll see what happens here if it doesn't preload an ad. Febreze. Let's see. 40 seconds. Here's the ad.
My beard's a free spirit.
Oh, my beard is a free spirit. Tell me about it. Okay, let's see if we can mute that. Yeah, okay, we'll mute the Braun commercial, and as soon as it comes on in 15 seconds, you can play it. But if you need a beard trimmer, you can go to Braun. I don't have a beard, so okay. Here's the video. Ever wonder why? Yeah, tell you not to take a suitcase on an escalator. Okay, and here's the video that says why. Apparently, woman she just fell down the escalator. Okay. Oh, it's a compilation of escalators. All right, well, that's probably pretty good, too. Yep, it's just video after video of escalator fails. Use the elevator, people. Just use it, please. So much easier that way, isn't it? But we all do it, and we shouldn't. All right, you can watch this in your at your leisure. And the last news article: another tragedy in China. Chinese repairman crushed by a lift. And this happened, let's see where this happened. Coming from the South China Morning Post, Chinese repairman crushed to death by elevator. Yikes. When you see images of this, it just makes you cringe. Unbelievable, not good. So, yeah, not good at all. And typically they have some pretty graphic photos as well, so hopefully they're not in here. Anyway, that's going to do it for the show, everybody. I know I told you it was going to be short. I promised, and I delivered on that. And as always, practice safety each and every day. If you're on vacation, enjoy it. If you're coming back from vacation, I'm sorry. We'll be back next Wednesday with a new show and maybe some more content. So everybody have a great rest of the week out there. Thanks for tuning into the show, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.